It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell, Dinero, and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell, Dinero, and guess what? It's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast. You feel me? I don't know exactly what episode it is right now, but it's another episode. God damn it! So let's clap it up for that. We here today. We woke up this morning. Everybody's here. It's time. So today we got another Loki review, of course. Last time we did episode 3 and 4 together. This time we have episode 5. We're also doing some pop culture today. Just kicking the shit, just talking a little bit. Just a little mixture of episode types today to get something in y'all ear for the weekend. What's up, AKA? How you feeling?
Feeling good. And excuse my dumbass clap. That shit looks feminine. Fuck.
No, it was audio considerate, if I was to say so myself. The Best of Bias listeners probably clapped louder than clapped and probably didn't even, notice it. So thank you guys for being here. Let's get into some stuff. What do you want to talk about first? Should we get into the Loki review or should we do the pop culture first? What you thinking?
We can throw the Loki review out just to get that out the way. And then,
get it out the way? All right.
Yeah.
So, episode 5, as we like to do, I like to throw it to you, AKA. Give us a brief overview, how you liked it, what the episode was about, without diving too much into detail. Go ahead, go.
I thought the episode was cool. It had a lot of Easter eggs in there, just little fan service type of things inside of there. I like the fact that, in this world that they're in, which is like, I don't want to spoil it, but where they're at, it's like the only people who survived were Loki's, just different variants of Loki, and it just shows like Loki's a fucking cockroach, basically.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Can't get rid of him at all. But I like that. I like the whole like place they were in and the whole concept behind it, and it was very enjoyable, I think.
For sure enjoyable. Did you watch some like review videos afterwards to kind of like get a more in-depth like understanding of what happened?
I didn't watch anything, but I read some stuff, but
Yeah.
not too much stuff. I didn't want to read too far into it because, like I said, like occasionally I will jump into like the reviews for something when I'm like after I watch a certain episode and I'm just confused.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really want too much of that stuff because they're trying to they implant certain things in your head, and then I'm like hoping that it's that, and then when it's not, I'm somewhat disappointed. So yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, I watch a couple of videos. I subscribe to a couple of the, the little review podcasts. Some people that are overseas, I see it a little bit earlier. They get it out there and get more in depth. Get to watch it 2 or 3 times by the time I get to watch it my one time. So it gives me a little hip to some stuff that goes on. But I'll get into that a little later. Shout out heavy spoilers. You the man out there. He's dope for those. But
I think I do New Rockstar. That's the one I look at sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. It's dope. Yeah, like those guys work hard, putting those videos together, kind of getting this fanfare. Gives us material too. So I fucking for sure respect them. But yeah, starting in the beginning of the episode, I think we're at after Loki was pruned. Sylvie just chopped off one of the heads of the timekeepers. They had a Wizard of Oz like reveal, and after that, Loki gets pruned, and that's pretty much where we start at the start of this episode 5. At the end of the mid-credit scene, you see Loki wake up in the world you were talking about, and you see a bunch of different variants of Loki looking up at him, and he refers to Asgard's version of hell. Am I in hell with one L? And he's like, yep. No, he's like, no, you're not in hell. You're not dead, but you will be if you don't come with us. And that's when we see all the variants of Loki. What do you think about the variants of Loki out there? We talked a little bit about last episode, but
let me try and see if I can move this because I'm starting to lose Wi-Fi or something.
Okay.
But variants like they was interesting. I like they had old Loki, which is a playback to a lot of the comics because they are even the uniform and everything. Old Loki was in a few of the Marvel comics they had. And Kid Loki too, but I think Kid Loki's a little different. I think his was something about Loki being reborn or something.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
kid,
Hmm.
I think it was something to do with him like having Hela do something to where he can't die or shit, or his soul
Right.
can't
And that's
go to
after
hell,
he
so he has to be
died
reborn.
in
Yeah,
his female body. After he was
yeah,
killed there, he was resurrected as a kid, Loki, from what you were
exactly.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if I believe in like the comic version, he didn't know he was Loki. He figured it out later on, but he didn't know he
Right.
was Loki at first.
They
But
helped him get the
so
memory back.
yeah, exactly. So they had that Loki. I still don't know where the Black Loki came from. I think they just made him up for the show.
Hmm.
And I mean, I forgot what they labeled his name was. I think it was something like I forgot what it was, but it's something about him being like braggadocious. He was like boasting about shit that probably wasn't true
Boastful
throughout the
Loki. The black
boastful
Loki.
Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'm pretty sure that Milner hammer, that's the word, was probably just like him just making.
Handmade.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
clearly like he made that shit while he was there because it had
Right.
just random ass parts from like cars and just yeah, it was
Right. I remember you
awkward.
talking about it had like pistons and shit in it. Yeah, like a piston.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got that one
yeah.
right. Boastful fucking Loki. And you had Croc Loki, which I feel like was a callback, but it wasn't. In the comics, they said it wasn't a crocodile. It was like a cat or something like something of that nature, like a different kind of animal. But it was just kind of like a callback because
I remember there was one where he turned uh Thor into. Well, I don't know if he turned Thor into a frog, but Thor was a frog.
yeah, there's a
But
version of that.
I don't think they had anything to do with that yet because they actually had that frog in this
Hmm.
episode.
Hmm. You saw it.
Even with the T, I forgot what it was, T3 something something 57 or something like that, but
Hmm.
that was the actual issue that had the Toad version of frog. So
Toad version of frog.
Toad Toad version of Thor.
Yeah,
Tripping.
for sure. I like Toad version.
Drinking a little bit. I've been drinking a little bit.
Hey, it's all good. I've been indulging too, as you can see by my bifocals. Um, but yeah, so it got kind of weird from the beginning. I was excited to see where it went from the ending of episode 4 to this episode 5 here. Um, but before, did they go a little bit into the void world before Sylvie went
well,
and pruned herself?
they kind of went back and forth. So it went back to it was him with them, and then they think they walked past like the Thanos helicopter, which is another callback to the
Right. Yeah,
comic
I
where
remember
fucking
that.
Thanos is riding around a fucking helicopter, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to her and like talking to is it Rabona or
Ravona. I
Rabona?
think it might be with a V. Ravona.
I think it's yeah, something like that. But what's her last name is better. Her last name is like something Slayer. I forgot what it is, but it goes back to that, and she convinces Sylvia that she's actually trying to find the same thing she is. She's trying to figure out who's behind the
Right.
whole BTA and whatnot. But I
Right.
mean, she's clearly not trustworthy.
Yeah,
But
her
she's like,
character confuses the shit out of me because it's like, okay, she seems to realize that the timekeepers aren't what they seem to be because she seems like to not know what's going on behind the scenes. But at the same time, it's like she's trying to still uphold this TVA kind of like, religion. Like, okay, still I'm going to respect the rules. Even though I'll clearly have been lied to, I'm still going to keep this thing together because this is what I believe in. This is what we're, made to believe in.
yeah.
Some weird
And
ass shit.
it was that's when they go and she tries to get the Mrs. Clock lady, what the fuck her name is, to give her information. She's sitting there stalling about some spaceship that can take them to where they need to go.
Is it Miss
But
Time or something like that?
this time, yeah. But I think that's when she reveals that they're basically they don't when they get pruned, they don't disappear. They go to the end of time where it's still being
Right.
created.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's where they get pretty much devoured by that big ass fucking cloud. But what was that damn cloud thing like Artemis or Art something with an A? Got the
Yeah.
name of the cloud. But I think that's eventually where Sylvie gets the idea to just take herself out because she knows that in order for her to get to where she needs to be, she needs to go there anyways.
Right. And she's like, fuck, you already pruned Mobius. You got Loki pruned. If you go to the end of time and you're not actually dead when you go there, she went there to join Loki where they can try to figure out a plan.
Yeah. Well, she wanted to go there anyways. Is what she wanted the spaceship for. But then she realized realized the spaceship wasn't real because the little Lady Time was sitting there, buying
Right.
time by just going through files.
Right.
The next best thing would be to just prune yourself and send yourself there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So
yep. So then we get to reveal. We walking around in this void type of land. We get a bunch of Easter egg reveals. You named a couple of them. It was kind of crazy too because they actually threw in some actual real life mystery stuff like Bermuda Triangle cases and stuff from like this area. I guess I forgot some place in the world where people were looking for treasure and shit like mysteriously disappeared, and people were looking for like buried treasure and shit like that. They put the monuments in those actual areas in the show to
well,
make it.
yeah, I mean, I didn't see, but I know they had that ship that was, I forgot the name of the fucking ship, but it was like some ship that supposedly had disappeared or something like that
Exactly.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
And
cool
then,
that they added that kind of stuff too that make it seem like the space and time, things disappear really end up here. It's pretty tight.
yeah. And then they also had the Sphinx, which was a callback to what's his name again, Kane the Conqueror,
Hmm.
when he's like in his, I forgot the name of what he calls himself then, but he's like a Egyptian pharaoh or something like that, and he
Hmm.
flies around in the fucking a big ass ship that is pretty much the Sphinx,
Hmm.
and then eventually he leaves it there, and that's basically what the Sphinx comes from. He's the person that originally brought the Sphinx there. Uh,
That's kind of epic.
yeah,
They also
and
had like if you look to the I saw on heavy spoilers again. There's like the head of a celestial being that was off to the left, or like laying to the left.
oh, that's not Celeste. That was what is his name again? Something. Fuck. He has like four faces.
Yeah, on one head thing.
What is his name? I remember there was a comic with Doctor Strange where he was coming to destroy the Earth, but Doctor Strange convinced him not to because all of his faces are like for different things. Like one of them, like is the face is covered to here, the other one is completely covered, the other one his whole face is shown, and then the fourth head is like a mirror, so you can see whatever. I forgot what his name is though. The living something.
Hmm.
Yeah, something. I forgot what it is. Yeah, but yeah, that was dope. They had his head on there, but he was like, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a statue of him
Hmm.
or if it was like legitly like his head, which means that maybe he got killed or something. I don't know.
I feel that. Or
Yeah,
devoured by the cloud, and only his head survived. But yeah,
I don't think the Cloud would have been strong enough to kill him because his character in the comic is like pretty fucking powerful. So
I feel that. Yeah.
yeah,
Dope, dope, dope. But yeah, then we get a little more in depth, character descriptions of the other Lokis and seeing how they kind of are personality wise as they walk to the little hideout that they had after they introduced our Loki, I guess you can say, to the big cloud monster. They kind of describe the area, the void they're in, as a shark tank. Where
yeah,
that big ass cloud just eats everything around, and they have to kind of just avoid the fucking shark in a big ass shark tank, and they
yeah,
were legitimately hiding underground. That's when they did see the little Thor frog hopping around in the
yeah, in a
uh,
little jar.
yeah, and they had Milner under there as well, under the ground. And it goes into a little hideout. It looks like a bowling alley underground for some reason.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dope though. Shit, they said Kid Loki was the king of the Void Land, so he had his own little throne, little up there. And
I, I think it was because he killed Thor, supposedly, right? Now they said.
yeah, he did say he killed his brother. Yeah, he said I killed my brother. Yep, that shit's epic, man. And just kind of like, just gave us more of insight that each of the Lokis, each variant's made to make each Loki better. I feel like they're there to teach them lessons about their downfalls and all the shit that's happened. Ultimately, just to make our Loki a better Loki by telling them their past experiences and what actually goes down. How Loki is kind of like he's made to lose for the betterment of other people. Is kind of crazy. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty much what his whole is.
yeah.
You know, can you hear me right now? Because it keeps freezing over here.
No, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little fusy, but we got you. We got you over here.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much is what old Loki came up with also because he ended up isolating himself because he realized that he didn't want to be hated by everybody and all that shit. And then the reason why he became a variant was because he decided to go out and see his brother and him again.
All
And
right,
apparently
yeah.
he wasn't supposed to do that.
All
Yeah,
right. They said he went to another planet to be secluded, and the second he stepped foot off the planet, the TVA found him.
yeah, which is
Yeah,
pretty fucked up.
yeah.
He's stepping out of his role. But I think that's just seems fucked up because it's like that's like his own natural choice. It wasn't like with this Loki who found the fucking Tesseract because of somebody fucking up time. That was just like a decision he made. Like so, it's like they can judge people off of the simple decisions they make, which is kind of fucked up. So it's
Yep.
like that means that they're pretty much destroying free will, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway,
But
but
then that's when, I guess, I don't know exactly if that's when, but eventually Sylvie shows up in the void land after she prunes herself, and she sees the big ass cloud come out.
she
They
actually touches it, doesn't she?
Yeah, when actually after she gets out of this car, she wakes up in this random ass car. But they, in heavy spoilers, they actually
Yeah.
did say that looks like the car that Groot um, was wrapped up in with the Guardians of the Galaxy before they crashed out of the or some shit like that. They were saying like from Guardians of the Galaxy, like an Easter egg there. I don't know.
Him being in a car.
I
You
don't
mean
know.
the roots that he
Yeah, the roots that he's
oh
kind of in
oh
the
but that was the first one when he got fucked up and became a
little baby
little
twig.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they said it
I
was
don't
some.
know.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, they mentioned something like that.
I
Fact
don't
check
know how that
yourself, heavy spoilers if that's not true. But you had me when I watched the video.
I don't know how that would work though, because like they were in a whole different planet.
Right, and they're in the ball. I don't know, they're coming out. I don't know. But anyway, she wakes up just in time, some reason, right before the cloud gets there, and it starts to eat up everything. Everything the cloud touches basically dies. He like sucks the life out of it. Like I
Yeah.
was saying, like ships would get hella rusty. It would kill people on the ship, but it would rust the boat as well. The cars, they would
Yeah.
rust them down to like nothingness. Um, so yeah, as she gets out, she actually, because her special power, of course, is to what was she calling again?
Enchant.
Enchant
Enchant.
things, and she can see
Yeah.
their memories, and pretty much for the people she was possessing them, but for this cloud, she actually got to see what the cloud was guarding and what its kind of purpose was. For a quick second, she doesn't know she can enchant clouds or mystical kind of things. Yes. So she sees that for a second, and this is when Mobius pulls up in a pizza truck. It looks like a nod to Toy Story, but I ain't gonna go that far. But go ahead.
Toy Story.
Yeah, what do you think about that part?
That was dope. I like that. I like the fact that it was him who came there and saved her because I was waiting for him to show up, and it's pretty dope that one it's just weird as fuck that he would just find a pizza car, and the weird who the fuck delivers a pizza inside of a station wagon? Weird
Yeah,
as fuck too.
yeah.
And another thing I was telling you that I looked at the trailer they had for it, and it had a scene with him in that car, and she wasn't in the car with him.
Right,
So
yeah. They CG
remember I
that
mentioned
out.
that last time
Yeah.
how they do that. They did the same thing with not Endgame, but the other one when they had the Hulk running behind everybody, but he was never in it.
Maybe Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, Infinity Fizzle. But yeah, after Mobius picks up Sylvie, they dip out into the cloud, or they dip out running away from the cloud.
Away from the cloud, yeah.
Yeah, and then this is where we go back to where the Lokis are hiding out, and we see another like vote Loki show up with a gang of other Lokis.
Oh
Ready
yeah,
to go.
because the Black Loki or Ghost Loki, or his name uh, is a fucking traitor.
Turned on him. Yeah,
Yeah.
try to turn him in for a bounty or some shit like that.
So see, that's what I looked up. I didn't know what the hell that vote Loki was. I mean, I didn't know what most of the Lokis were, but I figured like his character had to have some kind of significance or something. Then I went and looked up what it was, and
it's like a recent comic.
it is. Yeah, I think it was back from when Trump won the election,
Yeah,
and it was
2016.
and it was just kind of like catered to that
Right.
in some way. I didn't read the whole comic. I just read a little.
They did talk about this too. They said that it was like a nod back to the 2016 election between Hillary and Donald Trump. And it was like they're so tired of both sides lying so much, they voted for somebody that actually told you they were lying, and we're going to put it on Front Street and didn't lie about lying. He told them, because
Yeah.
even his catchphrase was believe, with that lie highlighted in the middle. So it was like, yeah, I'm gonna be straight up front with my lying and my deceit, just to try to, I'm gonna say whatever I need to say to win you guys over. And basically they all voted for him. And then I think after a while, they realized that he wasn't gonna do shit about like anything he said. He was just saying that to win their votes and get power, and they kind of like forced him out of office. I think they also said at the end of the comic that he was working with another candidate. So once he got in office, fucked everything up on purpose so that he can hand it off to that guy, and he rewarded him handsomely. And he said like he owed me a favor for doing this for you or some shit like that.
Oh, so
And that was
Trump.
like the last panel. It was like the last panel of the comic. Yeah.
And I guess they didn't say who it was, but we clearly know who won, so it had to be Trump. Yeah.
Yep. And it was funny though. I thought he was gonna like, from the previews, I thought that Vote Loki was gonna have a bigger kind of prominent role in the show, but he was only there for a couple of minutes.
Well, I mean, because the comic wasn't like a huge comic; it was just
right.
like a one-off type of thing. But
it was a big part of the trailer, though.
It was a big part of the trailer, and I think it was more to fuck with people's mind because it was like it made you think that Loki went back to being his normal self again.
Mm-hmm.
He sees the opportunity to become like the leader of this place, but then it comes to find out it wasn't that; it was just another version of him.
Right.
So that was a good play on them. I think that's what the whole play was for them to do that, and he gets his hand bit off.
Yeah, by Croc Loki is quick. He quick.
Croc Loki fast as fuck.
Bit his hand off, swallowed that shit, and dipped out.
That motherfucker hella quick. Yeah.
That was nuts. And then they all started fighting. Yeah.
They even had like I think one of the Lokis was looked just like one of the Lokis from the when they were showing the variants and stuff.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that big green motherfucker, but he wasn't there. I made me mad.
Right. You still got a couple episodes left. You might see him in the end. I'm trying to take down Kang the Conqueror or something. But anyways, yes, it was still a lot of nods to Kang the Conqueror, man. And if there's no Kang the Conqueror, man, we got bamboozled for another series. They keep tricking us in all these goddamn series with this.
It's too much. It's. I mean, we know he's gonna be in. I don't know if he's gonna be in the show, but we know he's gonna be coming out eventually. But they have to like sit there and slowly push that shit up on us because if they do it too quick, then it's not gonna have the same effect. Like kind of like they did with Thanos, where they just like slowly like show little cameos of him, in scene credit types bullshits, And I mean, maybe they'll do that at the end of this. They'll just show like a little glimpse of him or something that represents him or lets us know that he actually exists.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that would be dope.
Right.
I mean, the funny thing is if I remember, Kane like physically doesn't have any actual powers. He's just a regular human and fucking moth. But he has a suit that makes his ass like Omega level strong.
Yeah.
So that's what actually gives him all the power. He has like tech from all kind of different shit like that makes him like an apocalypse level or more stronger, So okay. He's definitely gonna be a real
a force to reckon with, huh?
100%.
Yeah, I feel that. So after that, we actually get to see a little bit of the powers of the old Loki, which are kind of OP in my opinion. Like this fool can project shit of mass scale. He makes portals that he can just dip out in. He didn't
do it in enough time, but yeah,
he should have. Like, why didn't he do that shit? He was hella.
But if you hear what he said, what did he say? Glorious
purpose.
Glorious purpose, and like maybe he was just like fuck it. He was happy to actually have a purpose, and now he can go.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for him to make the full fucking Asgard,
it's just not
enough to fool that big ass thing to think it's real.
My thing, he has portals. Why were they walking everywhere if he had portals? That it's kind of nuts to me. They walked hella far, and even when he was about to get killed by the thing, just portal your ass out of there.
The thing about it is like if you think about it, Kid Loki is pretty much left by himself with him and Gator Loki, or whatever the name is, Croc Loki. It's just them two together. But I mean, he is a Loki, so it don't matter. He can hold his own.
Right, and fuck, there's the plan that they hatched later with Sylvie to go enchant the big cloud. Like, if the cloud is gone, he's probably gonna rule that land anyways by himself and kind of just take it over anyways with nothing to worry about.
I mean, how we know the cloud's gonna be actually gone? She may have just enchanted it for a time,
Right. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, let's get there real quick. So basically, after they get out of that situation, old Loki throws up those false images, act like they're still fighting in there. Wonder what happens to everybody in that area. But anyways, they get out, and they escape. And that's when Mobius and Sylvie pull up in the whip. And you know the meeting, the reuniting of Sylvie and Loki. What'd you feel about that scene? You still don't think they're in love? You think they still just respect each
No,
other a lot?
I think they're in love. I told you. I thought that he was in love with her, and
Hmm.
she was. But now I'm like, okay, she's falling for him too, but she's just doing that little stern female, like masculine version of a female thing, where she's like, I'm not gonna tell him that I like him too. But you can start to see that shit. You can definitely start to see it, and even him like giving her a fucking his blanket to get with him, and
Right. He made his own little
yeah,
blanket first.
yeah.
Selfish Loki. Make it so he's like, I wish I
It
had
wasn't. It wasn't even a blanket. That shit was like a fucking cape. I thought it was. I thought he stole it from the old Loki at first or
yeah.
something. But
His little thin little blanket. But she was like, I wish I didn't have to wear this tight suit, or you know how uncomfortable this suit is. I thought he was gonna conjure her a whole little fit. And
yeah,
nah, he
but
was just
that's
chilling.
still funny that Loki could be the only person that is into like the extremest version of incest. They could be like, you think of incest, Alabama type shit. That is like incest on a whole nother level.
Yeah, for sure. Cause like I feel like they're gonna end up having kids. You think so?
That'd be fucking weird. Damn.
The old
That
man
that
nexus of it.
that would probably fuck up and destroy the multiverse
And
100%.
and that's how everything starts for the new phase 4.
Yeah, because that's some crazy shit. How do you take? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking to like with their DNA even like know what to do with it. I don't know. That's weird as fuck.
Yeah, very weird. And also, I don't know if you noticed the close-up scene of her while she was talking. There was a really close-up scene of her mouth, her whole face for like a long time while she was talking, and her teeth are hella sharp. She had like super sharp teeth, and she was talking in her British accent. She was like, I was like, damn, she
I
is
didn't
talking.
notice it.
You have to go back and watch that scene. You'll notice it's
Yeah.
abnormally long, like close up on her face, and she's explaining something. And bruh, she has the sharpest teeth I've ever seen. She reminds me of Underworld lady in that scene
Uh,
right there. I forgot her name, but anyways, back to the show. Back to the show. Let's get through this so we can get to this pop culture. But yeah, after they get with Mobius, they kind of try to hatch a plan. That's when Sylvie thinks she wants to enchant. Well, actually, the Lokis think they're gonna try to trap it and kill it somehow. I don't know how they plan to
yeah.
do that.
That's,
Yeah,
that was well, that was his fucking plan. Like that was the regular Loki's plan. And then when she asked him, he was like, he didn't think about how he was gonna do it. He just thought I can do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was nuts. But then she had a better plan of probably, or not probably, actually going to try to enchant the clouds so they can try to see, because they figured out basically it was a guard dog for something, but they didn't know exactly what they were guarding. They had a hunch it
Yeah.
was probably who was behind the timekeeper's little Wizard of Oz tricks. So they came up with a plan to try to enchant it and see see where the hideout is, because she saw a building when she did touch it for that quick second. She saw a big building that was
Mm-hmm.
hidden somewhere within the cloud. So she thought that if she touched it now, she can actually figure out where that is, who's staying there, who is protecting. So they go out to hatch this plan, and this is when a dramatic ass scene hatches. Um, Basically, Mobius decides to go back to the TVA. He's not taking part in the plan. Kid
Because
Loki,
you can't really do shit. Yeah.
yeah, Kid Loki and Old Loki decide to stay in Void Land, and they're not going to help. They're just going to go do whatever they want to do, I guess. Just let Loki and Sylvie try to just do their little plan. Um, but yeah, so basically, this is when Kid Loki gives fucking Loki this weird ass flaming sword. I don't know if it's a callback to anything or anything like that, but
I don't
um,
know.
I think it's the sword that Agent Loki has, which is who the Kid Loki was before he's Kid Loki now. I don't know. Some weird shit. There's a lot of Lokis out there. But anyways, he gets the sword, and basically him and Sylvie go to work. Sylvie starts getting ready to enchant the cloud as it comes to attack them both standing there in the middle of nowhere. Loki tries to distract it with his flame sword, running away. The cloud says, fuck
Oh
that. I know what
yeah.
you guys are really trying to do. Go straight for Sylvie. And this is when old man Loki comes out and conjures the whole Asgard, as we talked about before. This big ass monster knows one thing, and that's to eat. kill and destroy. So once he saw this big ass Asgard be conjured out of nowhere, he went to go destroy that before he fucked with the little people over there. He wanted to get that big buffet before he had the little desserts. He goes
Yeah.
there, realizes that this big ass conjuring is not fake, and this is where we see the end of old Loki. Were you sad about old Loki going?
Yeah, I did. I actually like that character. He was out of all the Loki variants, he was probably my favorite one.
He had the
You
coolest
know,
powers to me too.
he
The
did, and he
enchanting
looked like
is pretty dope, but
he looked like he was like straight from the comic book. You know, he looked like what you if you would go to a fair and they had like a Loki dress up contest, he would be one of the guys in that.
on
And he
Hollywood
probably,
Boulevard,
yeah, there you go.
dirty ass Loki.
But I like that. I like the fact that he came back and helped, which
Right.
also like gives you like the the whole thought process that once again Loki isn't all bad, so that was a good little thought. And then like the fact that they were able to grab the fucking smoke or cloud or whatever the fuck it is, that shit was just I don't understand that at all. Like how are you able to grab like clouds like
Yeah.
smoke?
Yeah.
And
How are
then
you
her
how are you able to escape it is what I want to know.
Yeah, because like he touches shit and just devours it, so you're able
Yeah,
to hold it and not be devoured. Like
exactly.
he takes his time with you. Like, all right, because he was killing them soldiers on that ship.
Instantly, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I guess maybe because they're gods, I don't know.
Yeah.
But and then her like explanation of why he can enchant when he doesn't know how to enchant. It's like, well, you're me. It's like
Yeah, you can do it.
yeah, this is family. like, what you call it?
You're me and me
Fast
are
and the
you.
Furious type
You can do
shit.
what I can do. Yeah. Yeah, it's some
Like they
weird
just come up
shit.
with their own logic for why they can do stuff. I mean, I know it's a fucking Marvel comic with like a bunch of mystical magic and all that bullshit, but
Yeah.
like, give a better explanation. And you're me, so you can do it. And it's like, well, there's a lot of shit that Loki can do that you can't do. Like
Right.
you can't change your outfit.
Yeah.
So
You can't even be comfortable right now.
yeah. So
That's hella funny. But yeah, also like I don't know. I just don't understand how they knew that enchanting it would stop it from killing them or stop it from
yeah,
how
that
they
was
know
a hell.
that it would reveal exactly where to go. I don't know.
The very one-sided bluff. It's like you go inside of there and you do it and it don't work, then that's the end of the Loki show.
It was a
It's
goddamn
it's a wrap.
it was a 10-minute idea too. It's like and it just worked right away.
I
But
guess it's showing that she's that much smarter than this Loki.
right, I don't know, man. If they have kids and some shit goes down and that's how they start the new phase, that would be the most epic thing. I don't know what they're showing kids right now, anyways, because I know a bunch of kids are watching this. They already done watch somebody get their hand bit off. Oh man. Also, I just want to say I don't like how they made the boastful Loki the deceitful guy. Right when they made a cool like black like powerful character like a Loki that we thought was gonna be hella cool, he ended up being a backstabbing, conniving, boastful, all show motherfucking. I don't know. That's bullshit. You should have made.
I mean, but at the same time, it was all the Lokis other than those three, meaning Gator, Old, and Kid Loki. All the rest of the Lokis were pretty much pieces of shit. So
Yeah, they're all pieces of shit. Yeah, Kid Loki, I liked him though. They kind of just mentioned he killed Thor, but maybe Thor was a fucking fucker in that variant world or whatever.
It's probably a fuckboy in his universe. Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? Who knows? But then after they chant the big cloud, that reveals the building that Sylvie did see when she just touched the cloud. We keep calling it the cloud. I know it has a name. I'm sorry, guys. You
Starts with an A. I don't know what the fuck it was like. Art.
Armada, some shit like that.
Something like that.
But anyways, after they see, I knew it was gonna happen. I was pissed off about it. As soon as they got through the cloud and saw where to go, and when we thought Kang would be revealed, they stopped the episode. I was so mad because they're doing hella extra shit during the time that they were trying to enchant the cloud. I knew they were gonna take time off to where we were not gonna be able to see anything after they do enchant it, which was.
I was hoping they would have like an end credit something or something.
Right, they didn't even have that.
They didn't.
I
mean, I would have liked the end credit. I'd like even like a little end credit reveal of them walking up, in somebody's, behind somebody, just so you can get an idea or like
of what's gonna happen next,
or a speculation of who it might be or something.
Right, yeah.
Do that at all? They just to be honest, like the cat or whatever it was that was in there, like I don't even remember what it looks like because I was waiting. I was in my mind. I was like, oh, they're gonna show something else, and they didn't.
I think I know who it
Kind of
is.
whack.
I think I know who it is. It's Tony Stark. After he snapped, he went to the void, and he's been there fucking with shit, trying to make his presence known ever since.
Nah,
Got
that'd
it.
be whack. That'd be whack.
It needs to be Tony Stark. That'd be hella funny. Hey guys,
It's Wolverine. That's how they gonna bring the X-Men in our place.
they can pretty much do anything, but I really hope they just pay us off, man. If Kang the Conqueror is gonna be in goddamn Ant-Man, just show us now to build it up. Like you said, a couple of appearances here and there, like they build up Thanos. Just show us Kang. Show us Kang. Best of Bias listeners, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on this video right now if you want it to be Kang the Conqueror. Go ahead and subscribe if you want it to be Mephisto. Go ahead and tell a friend about this podcast if you want it to be Tony Stark. Anyway it goes. I hope we get a good payoff because I've been invested. Goddamn it, we've done a review for every goddamn episode, about an hour. So yeah, I hope one of these theories pays off finally. Because goddamn,
see, that's why I don't be watching them things, because now you feel invested in the theory.
No, yeah, I mean, I did a lot of the times the theories in those shows kind of like reinforce what I was already thinking in the first place. So it's like, okay, at least they kind of think, and the fans kind of feel like thinking where I think, in little details I may have missed. That's where these videos kind of, tune in for me, and just little tidbits here and there that I might have missed, because I do be watching sometimes on my lunch breaks and shit, trying to get, the viewing in as soon as possible to get it reviewed for the people. So I don't really get to watch as in depth as I want. But this episode, I didn't really watch more than once, because this one in particular was too, I don't know. I didn't want to watch it again. I liked it a lot, actually, but one time through, I feel like was enough for me. I think
I watched it twice.
Really? I think it was the cloud scene more than anything for me. It was a little too dramatic, a little too much, a little too played out. It could have been shorter, a little bit maybe earlier in the episode. So we got I just
watched it again because I felt like there was shit that I missed because there was so much shit in the background.
No, the Easter eggs is, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to go back and play it. So the second time I watched it, I didn't really watch it for the actual episode. I watched it more like the pausing and making sure I wasn't missing anything type of shit,
I feel that. But episode 5 or episode 6, the season finale. Last 2 episodes were about 48, 49 minutes, minus the end credits. So I hope this last one at least gives us a little over an hour. I would like that to tie up everything with a bow. I want to see what happens when Mobius gets back to the TVA. I want to see what happens with Agent 15 or B-15, because she is in that cell.
Didn't he go back and say something to her? Wait, because I remember there was a part where somebody was talking to Rabona.
It was a B-15 in the cell, because after she remembered everything, they locked her up so she wouldn't go spreading around what she knew about the TVA and everybody being variants and shit like that. But yeah, so she was keeping her in that cell to kind of interview her, to investigate her and see what Sylvie's actually, her purpose is and what she's going to try to do and shit like that. I think she might have revealed a little too much, even though she tried to be cryptic and kind of just letting Rabona know that she's about to get fucked over by Sylvie. But I feel like she kind of maybe have revealed the plan. Ravona's probably going to meet Kang soon. In the comics, Ravonna was the love interest of Kang, like we mentioned before. So if she doesn't know Kang now, she's going to meet him soon and become that love interest. So maybe one of the variants of her knows Ravonna and was her love interest back in the day, and that's why they put her in the position of power she is now. Who knows? Yeah. Who fucking knows? But we will take a commercial break real quick. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Go get you some drinks, man, because I'm a little parched right now. To go give me some H2O.
Yeah, a little bit.
You get you some more alky.
A little bit.
All right. So it's the Best of Bias podcast. We will be right back. Yeah.
I gotta move for the bag, but do it discreet and you never should brag. And toast to these streets, always carry a mag, cause niggas envy and they want what you have. I gotta move for the bag, I gotta move for the bag. I gotta move for the bag, I gotta move for the bag. I gotta move for the bag, but do it low key like Odin was your dad. Don't fall for these freaks, always sick when they zag. Elevate from the back of a cab to a jab. If it's money on the menu.
What's up, everybody? We back with some Best of Bias podcast. AK in the building. Lydell, Dinero in the building. Plenty more Best of Bias to come. We're going to go into some pop culture right now. It's a half and half episode, man. We try to get some pop culture out there because we ain't got pop culture out to you in a while. A little mixture of some sports and some movie topics. You know how we do it. A little pop culture flavor in your ear, starting with the topic that you had dear to your heart, that you just informed me about it and know much about it. Go ahead. Let them know
Oh
what you're
yeah,
talking about here.
with the Fury Wilder 3, with Fury pulling out due to him getting COVID, even though they already stated that both fighters have been vaccinated. But yeah, and now they're saying that, oh well, Fury wasn't fully vaccinated; he only took one shot. But before they said they were both fully vaccinated, so
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, it was Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. It's their third fight. I think did Wilder win the first one? Or
The first one was a draw. The first one was a draw. Second one, clearly Tyson Fury won that one.
Yeah.
Even though when I watch it, like I don't really want to like sit there and like feed into the the little weird rumors and shit that are going around. But I mean, boxing has been known to have shit like that happen in the past. There's a lot, you can look that shit up. There's tons of different things where people have cheated and got away with it, or cheated and didn't get away with it. Mostly they get away with it. But so I'm not going to sit there and rule it out. But if you look at Wilder's old fights, he's never looked that sluggish that early in the fight ever. I mean, after the first round, he looked super sluggish. His punches didn't have that quick twitch to him at all. And you can go back and watch the first fight. He was still quick all the way up until like the 10th round. Damn there, he was still like, physically and like stamina wise, he was still there. He always has that little weird like swag about him because he's not really like a
technical boxer.
Not at all. He got into it later on in his life, way later than normal. But nonetheless, like his punches looked like they didn't have no kind of steam behind them. So I mean, something was going on there, whether it was induced by somebody else or if it was just because of him having like fatigue or some shit. I don't know.
Before he came in the ring.
That damn suit. I mean, that's not gonna do it. Come on, like you played football when you were an athlete. You used to work out with like fucking vests and 50-pound vests and shit and do all kind of different stuff. After you're done, you just not fucking sluggish and shit from a simple walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like you don't like I have friends, including you, who like they would go out and run with a vest on or do bleachers with the little 50-pound vest on. And that thing only weighed 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And like that walk is like the equivalent of them walking from the locker room to the fucking field. And if that's the case, then they would have had a lot more issues running the.
Uh-oh. You froze a little bit
occupation.
Here. Oh yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think that that argument would be bullshit, but I feel like something was up. And Tyson Fury, I don't know. He's kind of iffy to me. He doesn't really have that much competition, and they call him like the best heavyweight and all that bullshit. And I mean, I think he's good. I think he's really good, like especially for his size, his movements and shit. But I mean, he was ducking the rematch with Klitschko after he beat Klitschko. He ducked that until the point where it never happened. So
trying to duck this one and go to Anthony Joshua too. So
yeah, and I mean, I think that's because his style. I like Anthony Joshua, but I think his style is more catered to Anthony Joshua because if Anthony Joshua can't touch him, he's not gonna be able to hurt him. I mean, he's not gonna be able to do anything to him. And I think that's the kind of fight that I can see Wilder winning the majority of the time. Not Wilder, but Fury. But with Wilder, because of the fact that Wilder just has that fucking eraser, that's just a big ass threat. So like, no matter how much of a better boxer he is, which Fury clearly is a better boxer than Wilder. I mean, there's no debate about that when it comes to actual boxing skill. But I mean, you could be the best boxer in the world, the best fighter in the world. Somebody hit you with a fucking baseball bat, it's a wrap. That's that nigga's hand is. His punch is a
sledgehammer.
It's a fucking it's a trump card. They say.
Yeah.
So
I feel
and
that.
his family knows that. Like his team knows that. Like regardless of you can be winning the whole fight, and this fool can come out of nowhere and let you the fuck out. So it's always a risk. And I think that somebody like Fury, who's had too much mental issues in the past, where he was talking about suicide and all kind of shit, that's why he got all big like that and shit, because he was going through depression. And I think the thought of him getting destroyed like that would fuck up his whole mental. So he's trying to avoid that at all costs. I mean, look at like when they were talking about the glove situation before with the last fight, his own training partners, his sparring partners came out and was showing video like after they got finished sparring, and he's showing like the gloves. He's like, these are Fury's gloves. These are the gloves this motherfucker just sparred me in, and he's squishing them, and they're like they had barely any fucking padding to them, and he's like, and these are the gloves they gave me, and they're super stiff, like like they're supposed to be, and Fury's trainers came back and was their excuse was, oh, we're trying to build his confidence. So you're gonna have him spar people without letting them know that this motherfucker is punching them with gloves that has barely any padding in them.
Trying to kill
you could
people.
fuck up their career.
Yeah,
that's the worst fucking stupid shit ever. So to me, it's just like I don't want to say I believe everything happened because I don't like to believe shit unless I see proof, like 100% proof. But like I'm not gonna sit there and just say, oh, that's bullshit. It couldn't happen because clearly there's some shit going on. So and now he's figure out a way to backpedal away from the fight. So they just have to postpone it, and hopefully when they postpone it, nothing happens to where he can get away from it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of weak. That's weak as fuck. Speaking of weak as fuck, let's transition into the Sha'Carri Richardson. The whole ordeal with her. Sha'Carri Richardson, she is a track and field runner from specifically, she specializes in the 100-meter. She's from Texas. She was at the Olympic qualifier, dusted everybody. Forgot exactly what she ran, but she dusted everybody pretty much and punched her ticket to the Olympics over in Tokyo. But recently, she failed a drug test. She was found with THC, cannabis in her system, and they banned her from the Olympics, which is crazy as fuck to me because it's it's off the banned substance list and all these other sports in America and all this other stuff like that. But they're deciding not to let her run, and they're not even holding it as like a slap on the wrist. They're actually taking her from the 100 meters, and they thought that she'd be able to run in the 400 relay as one of the legs in that. They actually said she can't run in that either.
Fuck, she can't run a shit for weed.
Yep, and it's basically, and her mom actually died, and that she found out while I don't think she was actually.
She was on an interview.
Yeah, she was in Oregon or something like that, and she wasn't in her hometown, and she found out that way. Then an interviewer actually broke the news to her. A reporter told her, and she went into a bad place and was depressed and smoked a little weed, and because of that, she failed a drug test, and they won't let her run the Olympics and try to achieve her dreams. It's just nuts.
I mean, I got mixed feelings about that one because I understand the whole situation with the mom because my mom passed. Like I went and bought like damn near a pound of weed and smoked that shit in like fucking a week, damn near. I was going out, bought a bunch of alcohol and so I went through a lot with that. I mean, I don't smoke anymore, but I can understand that. But at the same time, I didn't have my dreams on the line with that. Like I didn't. It's hard how I put it. It's like it's a devastating situation, but at the same time, I feel like if I knew that me smoking would have jeopardized something that big to me, something that my mom would have really not wanted me to fuck up. Like I know she would. Like I couldn't have. I would have dealt with it a different way. I would find a different way. So there's that. So like when it comes to her, like her punishment is her punishment. I think that she understands that. It is what it is. I think they went a little bit harsher than they probably should have, but it's their rules, so it is what it is. I know a lot of people are throwing up that Phelps situation where he was like caught with the weed. And I don't really remember because I was never big into the Olympics back then anyway, so I don't know what the whole ordeal with that. What was the
I think he did get in trouble
though.
I think he did get in trouble for it though.
But he was still allowed to participate because he got a shit ton of gold medals. So
well, I just think that the next time he was able to participate, he still kept winning. I think it was something of that nature.
Okay, well, she's got to wait another 4 years, I guess.
That shit's hella long. That shit's hella long.
Yeah, but didn't they like postpone the Olympics already? So I mean, from the last time.
Yeah, but they're already doing the basketball exhibition games and stuff. It's already up and going now.
It is 4 years is a long time, so it's kind of
Yeah,
fucked up. You know,
that
this might have been her
is.
moment. So
Yeah, it's nuts. That's nuts. Nuts. And track runners, I mean, that's how you get all your endorsements and shit from the Olympics.
that's
It's not like you don't have
yeah,
a professional track league. So,
that's true. That's
you
true.
know what I mean? So this is
They
hopefully
kind of went harsh.
Nike. Go ahead.
You know, they kind Nike. I heard that Nike's still rocking with her, so that's good.
Exactly. So she can still possibly get endorsement deals and shit like that. And still, it's still opportunities that other people don't have. She'll be able to make a lot more money in her life than if she didn't ever run track. So,
Yeah,
you know what I
but I
mean?
mean, as far as like the Olympics at the same time, I feel like they got weird ass priorities. It's like you're gonna ban somebody or cancel somebody from going to the Olympics in Tokyo because they took a substance that would, in all reality, hinder
Exactly.
their chance to win. It wasn't like it was steroids. It was something that, in most cases, especially when it comes to running and shit like that, is gonna knock her back some because it's gonna fuck up your wind from smoking,
Right.
your lung capacity. And I mean, even when I go and lift weights and shit like that, if I'm doing anything that's like heavy lifting, I would never smoke ever. If I'm just doing some shit where I gotta like do a bunch of reps, yeah, because I can zone out and do that, and I'm not doing heavy weight. But if I'm doing something where I'm pushing myself, I'm not gonna do it because I'm probably not gonna get it up, and I potentially could fuck myself over. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
It's just an interesting
but
situation.
but
It's good.
like I said, then they also do that, but then they let somebody in who like clearly has a advantage over everybody with the powerlifting thing, where they let somebody who was biologically a man compete against
Oh yeah.
females.
Hmm.
And this motherfucker was like my age when he, decided to transition into a female. Imagine if my big ass, you know how much I could lift. If I decided to transition to a female and then like 4 or 5 years down the line, I was like, nigga, I'm gonna go compete against females in
Right.
powerlifting, my nigga.
I also heard.
Really?
Yeah. I also heard they pulled 2 women from the Olympics as well because their testosterone levels were too high.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense because I mean, usually when you have high testosterone levels, that means you're taking something that, gave you high testosterone. Although I did remember there was a female. I think there was a female who actually had abnormally high testosterone,
Right. They said it was
and for
naturally high.
females,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that that's unfair because you're gonna let somebody in who spent like 30, however many years of their life with a male level of testosterone, male bone density, and male muscle growth
Mm.
to all that shit to now compete against females in a powerlifting. Like, if it was like something like cross country or some shit like that, okay, that's different.
Right.
I think both genders could go ahead and participate in that, but powerlifting,
Yeah.
like women have to go and work their
Shot put.
ass off. Shot put, yeah, but women have to go and work their ass off to be physically as strong as like a moderately, strong man. You know, like
Mhm.
they have to work their ass off to do that. So these women have worked their ass off to get to a level, and now you're putting somebody inside of there who already, as a man, was winning fucking competitions in powerlifting,
That's
and now it's like, yeah, that's like I don't understand it.
right.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like when that UFC fighter, the female UFC, not UFC, MMA fighter, who was breaking female skulls and shit. You remember
Oh,
that shit? Yeah,
no,
she was fighting in MMA, and she was originally a dude, transitioned to a female, and like broke some chick's skull.
that's too much. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
combat sports is where you gotta draw the line.
So you telling
That's
me that if with these rules, if somebody who was a female the majority of life decided to transition to a man, was a hell of a good athlete for a female, wanted to join the NFL, y'all gonna let her go ahead and join the NFL and get cracked by one of them fucking NFL players or play rugby against dudes or something like
no,
that?
yes, that's nuts. That's nuts. But I think they eventually will let females into the NFL as kickers. I think that might
Oh
be the
yeah,
next.
that'd be, but that's still scary because kickers, they still gotta stop the motherfucker running the ball.
The
If he
extra
makes it by
motivation.
it, yeah,
Yeah, the extra motivation for people to try to block kicks and shit, make them block them even more. Hit her.
yeah,
That'd be fucked up. That'd be all fucked
goddamn.
up. But yeah, all in all, man, I just feel like Shakari, work out for next year. Do all you can to, and
Next four
utilize.
years, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, next year, make some money next year doing something. use these and leverage these endorsements to make you some money in the meantime.
And if all else fails, open a cannabis club.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, there's a lot of money in cannabis right now. Everybody is creating their own strand of weed, and if you have the good enough promotion, you can fucking sell that shit like water. You don't really sell water that much, but whatever. You have to pay for it sometimes, so like I said, it's kind of expensive. Let's talk about Rachel Nichols. While we're on the sports topic, Rachel Nichols is a sideline reporter slash analyst for NBA TV, ESPN, like a lot of the NBA stuff. She kind of corresponds and is the sideline reporter, does interviews with the coaches, talks to the players after the games, and mostly for the NBA Finals. That's her job. Recently, she was recorded having a private conversation with somebody. I don't know who it was or who recorded her, but she was talking about how one of the other reporters, Maria Taylor, she is one of the commentators, halftime commentator. She does halftime show with a lot of the other players, Jalen Rose, Jay Williams. The end of her contract is up soon. And usually ESPN has a track record of the minority talent on ESPN when it's time for the contracts to get renegotiated, and for when it's time for these people to re-sign their contracts, they get lowballed by ESPN, and the talent ends up walking and doing their own thing. And we think Maria Taylor is going to be the next victim of that because her contract is up. And they really like her. She does a great job. She's really good with the players. I think she is really accredited in school. I forgot what school she went. She might have went to Georgia or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And she does a lot for BSUs and stuff like that. She does a lot for, the culture, and especially during the Black Lives Matter movement, she kind of went out there and gave a speech talking about how even though she's a woman, especially a Black woman working in ESPN, and she gets tried every day, and how, it's kind of skewed against her, and how, ESPN is, leverages white male talent over kind of like Black women in general, especially in ESPN. So she kind of stood her ground there and kind of spoke out. But now, taking it back to Rachel Nichols, they don't really have many minorities working for ESPN right now. And ESPN is trying to, do better by that. But again, since Maria Taylor's her contract was up, they wanted to offer her Rachel Nichols' position as the sideline reporter for the NBA Finals. This is when Rachel Nichols is having this private conversation with somebody, kind of voicing her opinion and her dislike for the situation, kind of saying in jest, I don't really know exactly, not in jest, but like in kind of like, what's the word I'm trying to say? And just to kind of like paraphrase what she said, she basically said, I know ESPN is like done bad with their diversity hires and stuff like that. I like Maria Taylor and all that, and she deserves to, I don't know if she said this, but I'm kind of putting it, like I said, paraphrasing it. She deserves to have a job, but I don't want them to give her my job for a diversity hire just because they're fucking it up. Fucking up with their diversity hires. If they don't have any minorities working here, go find them and give them a job somewhere else. Don't give her my job.
But you can't really get mad at her for saying that though.
Right.
You
exactly.
can't, because it's like that's her job. People were thinking of it like, oh, it's being like racist or something like that. But no, it's like she's saying that, hey, my job is important to me. I don't want to be discriminated against because you guys are fucking up on your end. I'm doing my job fine, clearly. So,
right.
Figure out a way to help her out without fucking me over.
Exactly. And just the time of racial tension right now, people kind of like misconstrued it and kind of blew it up.
I feel like that's one of the things, like when it comes to like racial tension nowadays, is like, people kind of dilute it by jumping on every single thing that they think is racist. And it's like, okay, some things are literally just actual situation. It has nothing to do with race. It has more to do with that person trying to protect their job. Or
exactly.
Now there is some things that are blatant, don't get me wrong. But when you jump on every single thing that comes out and just throw race at it and say it's a racial thing,
it gives it less power, less value.
Yeah, you're fucking watering it down. You're watering it down.
Exactly. And me more so, I thought she was kind of like, people took like, didn't like what she said because she is coming from a place of privilege, being a white woman. But she was saying, me as a woman too, it was hard for me to get to this level, this part of the job in the NBA, being the sideline reporter, getting these close to the players, getting a little spot to talk. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, but like when you say come from a place of privilege, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, it's like, how do we know that that privilege actually wasn't just her? Like, was it? It wasn't privilege, but how we know it wasn't her actually working hard and earning that slot? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what people are trying to say against her. But it's like I don't really see it as her. I know she might be privileged and may have gotten the job over some well qualified black women. I just feel like at this point, Rachel Nichols actually has made it really far. Women analysts on ESPN in general don't really get to talk much on their TV shows. They're just kind of like the hosts while these debaters go back and forth and they get words in here and there, but they talk over them, this and that. She was a
Yeah,
host on the show called The Jump, which is another one of those shows on NBA TV where she throws the topics around, and these NBA people just kind of go over the topics and don't let her talk that much. I feel like the sideline reporting was her time to shine, and I feel
yeah.
like she doesn't really want that taken away. And I
I
don't
feel
blame
it.
her for it, but
Okay.
I just feel like Maria Taylor should be getting paid more money. They should pay her as much as she wants to stay there because she is great young talent there. That changes it up a lot within the departments, but I don't know. I just feel like the whole
I
recording
feel like
people behind their
yeah,
back
but I
is a
say the
whack
more to the
situation.
story is watch who the fuck you got around you, because motherfucker,
Yeah.
shady is fucking this day and age. So
Yep. Yes. Moving on. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about these not NFL, these college players now being able to get paid for their name and likeness. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I said, it's about time. They should have been getting this shit the whole time, because you got a lot of athletes who are making a shit ton of money for colleges, and they're going to school, living this pseudo like famous life as in NFL. But college athletes, even though like college football is like the highest earning sport in America,
Hmm.
which I don't know if it's the world, but I'm sure it's America.
Hmm.
I think soccer is the world, but like the whole time, a lot of these guys, especially when it comes to football, come from like low income or like low poverty areas, and their parents got to watch them on somebody else's TV, or have to struggle with paying bills, and also got to struggle with getting them the shit they need while they're at school. And these schools are making a shit ton of money off of them. It's about time that they allow these people to at least feed their families while they're doing this, because as we know, college does not mean that you're 100% going to the NFL.
Exactly.
So that
Exactly.
might that might be it right there. So let them at least get money while they're there, just in case it doesn't pan out for them in that direction. They at least got some money for their family to, you know.
Exactly.
So endorsements could
Motherfuckers.
do a lot, man. Endorsements, they pay a lot for endorsements, dude.
Exactly. And just if you're popular as a high school player, college player, bringing eyes, views, people, customers to these businesses is worth so much to them. They'll give you, your whole year, whole 3, 4 years in college can be super cushy now.
Yeah,
Nike can give you like $1 million, $2 million, free Jordans, free clothes, free food for the rest of
you're
your life.
paying. Yeah. So if everything don't work out when you're done with college, if you get like a good degree, you can at least start off paying off your tuition with all
Exactly.
this fucking money. So you ain't got to pay
Mhm.
that shit leaves people in a hole right there already.
Mhm.
You can have a house. You can have give your family a house. So you can like literally start off after you get out of college. If the NFL doesn't pan out for you, you can start off with a clean slate.
Right, exactly. And
You
especially with these kids actually being entrepreneurs and innovators coming out of high school, they can make their own money before getting with these, these people that are going to sponsor them or going to, pay them to advertise. They can get their own social medias off the ground. They can sell their own products. They
know.
can do this and not get penalized for it. They can sign autographs. They can do all this stuff that people used to get penalized for. Reggie Bush got his Heisman taken away. Cam
Yeah.
Newton, got in trouble at his school for some laptop situations. These players getting cars and stuff on the low, like all that stuff. They can have their own cars now. They can have their own way to get back and forth to practice. They can have their own food. They can afford to go out and get food. You
My
know what I'm
question
saying?
is all this money they're getting from these fucking college sports, especially college football, where the fuck is that going? Whose pockets is getting lined with that?
Exactly. It's because it's mostly money. It's coming from boosters, people that are paying the money, the school illegally, anyways, or it's giving them money to go towards building, supposedly towards building and stuff. And this lines the dean's pockets, lines the coaches'
Yeah.
pockets. They pay these top-notch coaches millions of dollars. Like they pay them almost as much as like NBA and NFL coaches, some of the top-notch college schools. That's why the coaches stay there till they're like 80 years old.
Wasn't there a coach? Which coach was that? I think the coach who coached for the Niners. Didn't he decide to just leave
Jim
and go back?
Harbaugh. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
coaching at Michigan.
yeah. And he probably was like, "Hey, shit, that money's good enough," you know.
Right.
Not to
And
mention it's Michigan, so if he's getting paid good money, which I'm sure Michigan State's paying him real good money, and he lives in Michigan, where houses are hella fucking cheaper out there, he's living it up.
like
He's living it up.
sometimes it don't even matter, man. These houses, people give these famous people discounts, especially coaches. If you're a really good coach, they'll give you a house out there. They'll pay for that shit for you. You ain't gotta buy your own shit.
Not in the Bay Area.
Well, not in the Bay Area, no way, because they don't have any schools that are good enough for schools to do that for you. But Nick Saban, fucking coaches like that, coach like the basketball coaches for Duke and Kentucky, I feel like
they're giving you houses that they own. You don't own those houses. You just stand in those houses. Like,
I don't know. If you win in a city, I feel like they'll give you anything you want for free. Down to, I don't know.
I feel like I feel like I don't see them doing that only because, like, what if that person does something like shady, like decides he wants to, I don't know, go to a different team or something like that, you know?
I'm talking about coaches. They get locked in. All these people are
coaches.
Locked in.
I know, but if they decide like they don't want to renew their contract, they want to go to a different team, you know, you gave them a whole fucking house. That's
Fucking they basically did that. Tom Brady's doing that now he's staying in A-Rod's house, basically paying to stay there millions and millions of dollars to stay in a super mansion complex. Just imagine Texas or somewhere where these oil rig owners have big ass houses that they own properties. Oh yeah, coach, you can stay here. Boosters, they give money, millions of dollars to these people to do nothing.
If that was it, I should have did. That should have been the first nigga to just buy a fucking apartment complex, kick everybody out, and then move all my family.
It's part of recruiting. It's part of recruiting. Nick Saban takes high school players on like yacht trips, and just to get them to come to the school, and just before football starts to get them all ingratiated with each other. Like, I'm telling you, boosters pay for this shit. Like, they're going to give you so much stuff, and especially if you're a good coach, to incentivize you to stay. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, and don't even think about like restaurants and stuff that is let you eat there for free all the time. And like, these players need to get these perks because these players are essentially making the coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And it actually in turn is going to help smaller schools who aren't in the SEC, which is basically Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and shit like that. Oregon itself. Go ahead.
Question. So with this new thing where they now can like make money off their likeness and stuff, before one of the rules were if they accept money to come to a college, that shit's that's illegal. Right? Is that still illegal?
I don't know. I just feel like I think it's not illegal. One, I just think now that they can make their own kind of money too, that they don't. It doesn't look as bad. Money? Yeah, it doesn't look as bad from the college that they're giving them money too because they're out there seeking their own money and they already have their own money and their entities, their businesses now. I think it's not. I think they're going to work through boosters more so than actual schools giving them money, because I feel like the richest person that donates to a school goes to these high school players and they're like, oh, what do you and your family need for you to come to this school? You want the stocks in our business? You want this? We'll give this oil rig.
Smart, yeah.
Name it after your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking name, like, motherfucker, give me a house outside of the ghetto. I want to live in your neighborhood.
That's easy. That's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're talking about
these players. I want to own a house in your neighborhood, and I want to have a good income so they ain't got to lose it to property tax and shit like that.
These players that are coming to Oregon, Phil Knight, who basically the founder of Nike, is basically paying these players to come to Oregon, and they're getting recruits that are coming from places we never got recruits from now, that they can get paid directly from Nike and get set up for life from Nike. Phil Knight gives you like stock in Nike's business if you come to the school for 3 years. One of our best DNs, he signed, he partnered with Nike to put out an NFT, basically just a digital picture of himself. It's probably going to be worth hella money that he's probably going to sell to Nike. And he's just, and he's probably a millionaire now that nobody really knows yet. And then once he gets drafted, he's going to be a multi-millionaire already because they can make money now.
That's crazy.
It's going to be nuts.
Are they really giving them like stocks in Nike though?
Oh yeah, Nike is giving them money. Everybody's going to Oregon now because they know Nike is able. I think Phil Knight donated like $100 million. I might be wrong, $100 to $500 million like last year to the program This year he did it again, like another $100 to $500 million to the program. And I think it's personally just to juice and get all the recruits and give money to recruits and stuff like that. So we can expand and just become one of the best schools in the country because we have that Nike tie. And that's what's going to take to get recruits now. You're going to have some kind of connection to a big business that you can benefit these families.
So now they're going to have super college teams.
Yeah, for sure. And the kids have leverage. They'd be like, what are you going to give me? Because this school offered me this. What are you going to give me to come to the school? And that's legal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He gave me
that's dope.
Car.
I like that. I like it because I feel like they should have been getting this shit for years. All the money they've been making off of these kids, and I just feel bad for the college players who are from the before, who were great, and didn't get any of the benefits.
Exactly.
But hey, fuck it. Like, it is what it is. At least
I feel like they should. Alumni that they use to promote kids to come to the school should be getting paid for their statues and their jerseys being promoted on the outside of the fucking school and all that shit that they're getting.
I think so too.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pictures of Tom Brady at Michigan.
On fucking a royalties check or something. Yeah.
Yeah. You name a fucking building after the football player. Can I get paid for that? You know what I'm saying? The people, everybody that signs up for a class in this, let me get like $1.
Or just fuck the name. Just give me the money.
Yeah. They have to do
something. If you give me the money, I'll show up there occasionally and say hi or something. Just walk through the campus. I'm like, oh shit, that Tom Brady? Yeah, it is.
Just imagine some of these famous people in college: Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, fucking Cam Newton.
What is Johnny Manziel doing right now? I mean, I know he's famous still.
He's fucking rich as shit already before football, but now he's just doing a podcast. He fucked himself over, but just imagine if he was getting paid all through college to be Johnny Manziel.
Hanging out with Drake.
You know what I'm saying? We got a little something about Drake. You hear about that Drake situation since you brought it up? He got spotted in Dodger Stadium having a one-on-one date with this lady, and everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Somebody caught him because it was on the third baseline. Drake doing hella extra shit. It was like a dinner table on the baseball field.
While they're playing a game?
No, he was just there. It was nobody in the stadium. It was just him and a girl having a dinner date on the third baseline. But a helicopter flew over and they saw him there and they zoomed in, recorded it, and put it on Instagram or on social media. So everybody was speculating and trying to find out who the girl was. It gets a little deeper than that. So I guess like last month or a couple weeks ago, Drake was at a basketball game with LeBron, and LeBron's son was playing in the basketball game. It was a high school basketball game. And basically, the girl that he was caught at the Dodger Stadium with was one of the LeBron's sons, the basketball player's moms.
I hope she ain't got no husband.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. 41-year-old. She's pretty good looking. You know what I mean?
Simping. It is what it is.
And supposedly, her son's pretty good at basketball too. It's not his son, obviously, but he's like 6'5", playing. He got a scholarship to UCLA. And I guess he's kind of like mentoring him and helping him groom into the NBA player that he wants to be or whatever.
Drake is?
Drake.
This nigga don't play fucking basketball.
But he knows how to navigate the being famous, and he has famous friends that can help him develop his skills.
That shit clearly didn't work for Johnny Manziel. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
football.
I think it's just an excuse to smash his moms. Because or get closer to LeBron, one of the two. Because
he already friends with LeBron, though. So that makes no sense.
I'm saying, like, now that he's having sex with one of his son's teammates' moms, he's gonna be at all the basketball games. He'll have a reason to be there.
I think he simply just saw her. She was bad and was like, I want to smack that. I can waste a couple, maybe $1 million, because to him it's nothing. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't simp that shit even if I had the money, but who knows? I don't have it. So
that's how you know. That's how you know she must have been with some famous people before, because he had to go all out and fucking rent out Dodger Stadium to impress her. He said, "Fuck it, I'm Drake." He said, "Not even that I'm Drake. I can get any girl I want." He said, "I'ma be Drake, rent out Dodger Stadium, have us be the only one there. You're gonna sit on the third baseline." He pulled out all the stops. He even had a custom jersey on her back.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's too much. I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't do no simp shit like that, but I can't knock the man for doing what he want to do. It's his money. It's his own thing.
Yeah. So. I feel it, but I did have some discussion with some folks that were saying like, yeah, if if Drake was having sex with my mom and somebody came up and said Drake smashing your mom, that they wouldn't be mad about it. They would just be saying like, oh, at least my mom's having sex with somebody that makes more money than who your mom's having sex with. Like,
See, I feel different. I would feel bad about it because it's not like she's getting that money. You know,
exactly.
it's like now she's just a notch on this nigga's belt who's known for having
Exactly.
notches on his belt.
Yep.
So yeah, I would be kind of upset about it if it was me personally.
Yeah, there's no good positive spin you can put on it. There's no,
Nah.
oh yeah, he's smashing my mom. Now I have opportunity to be a famous person from the stuff that he has that I can just
No, now you that nigga who play basketball and your mom got smashed by Drake. That's pretty much it.
exactly. Right when you ask that nigga for something, he gonna be like, oh, you ain't my son. You know what I'm saying? You better hope the NBA shit pan out, because if not, he is not gonna be your friend. He's gonna be a guy that's smashing your mom. And once
Or as
that
soon
don't
as
work,
he smashed, because I'm sure once you get that shit, like most dudes do, you're gonna, women don't understand that a lot of times dudes will do a lot of shit before they have sex with you, and then once they have sex with you, it's like, well, I wouldn't have got sex if I wouldn't have did that shit. So I
yeah.
did that,
And my thing is, once you get to that level, all these like, what's the pinnacle of bitches? Oh, excuse me, women that he's had sex with? Like, how do you decide? Like, oh, I'm gonna go for this? All the girls probably had the pinnacle of baddies. They all,
yeah, I mean, he got a kid by a porn star or something. You know what they said? So
and don't they all start to look the same at some point?
I mean, most of them do already. To me,
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's like, do you really think this is gonna be his girlfriend now, or is this just the thing that he's with this week?
I doubt it.
Which makes it even worse for this guy to be like, oh, Drake was smashing my mom last week.
Unless that kid is really fucking good at basketball, because Drake is a basketball fanatic, and he might just want to be like, yeah, that mother right there who playing for whatever team, that's my nigga, that's my son. He ain't my
But
blood
that's
son, but
still
that's
weird.
my son.
No,
It's weird. It's weird.
It's like, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Because either way it happens, he gonna take credit for your success. That's how Drake is. He's gonna be like, yeah, yep, I had something to do with that. He's gonna attach to that right away. And I feel like, man, if I was the baby daddy, I would be hella bad, because now it's more so, okay, Drake's stepdaddy more than who the fuck his real daddy is once he makes the NBA.
I mean, it's depending on how old he is, because once you're at a certain age, if that kid already got attachment to his father, that's a bond. You can't get rid of that. But I mean, how old is the kid?
He's in high school, obviously.
If he around his father already, that attachment is already it is what it is. Now, if his dad ain't in the picture, then it is what it is.
But if his dad's in the picture, wouldn't that be kind of weirder?
I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, to me personally, if I'm the kid, I would care more than if I was the baby's dad. I wouldn't give a fuck who she fucks. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he was probably.
I would be more happy if I would be like hoping that they get together, because then I could be like, hey, I need child support. She clearly making more money than me, so.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like her ex had money anyway. So look at her. She fucking is all done up, got the body. She's 41 years old and has the body of a 23-year-old. So I'm sure.
Normal. Most girls who are in their 40s now they go to get the fucking whatever that shit, BBL, whatever that shit is.
Right, which I'm saying is probably the baby daddy from before was the one that's buying this shit. I'm sure she wasn't affording it by herself.
Or she was fucking some other rich nigga.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's probably used to those lavish type. Like, look what he had to do. He went to the Dodgers stadium, rented that bitch out. So she's probably used to the finer things already. So,
That's why he got to be different. He got to go ahead and just pick that bitch up in an Uber.
Yeah,
pick her ass to Popeyes.
Bring her to the studio session. You got
get her some spicy chicken sandwiches, Asian fries.
Another reason why I think that it's just a smash piece too, because Nicki Minaj was on live the other day, and she was with this artist named Bia, and he was shooting a shot in the fucking Instagram live. He typed in there, he was like, "Tell Bia I said she's cute" or something like that. I'm trying to see what's good.
She's kind of funny looking. I don't know.
And then Nicki Minaj was like, she was hella cock blocking. She was like, "Hey, Drake, you need to chill. Why don't you go back to your big booty ting and stop worrying about me?" She got a man already or some shit like that. And putting them on super blast. So
wasn't she on that one song? She was on that song with Russ, I think it was, right?
Who? Bia? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He can't keep his hands off my ass cheeks
Yeah.
or some shit like
She's hella funny looking. She seemed cool though, but she's hella funny looking. But so am I, so who gives a fuck?
that. But yeah, let's see what the next topic is here. Do you have anything else you want to throw in there before we go on to the next topic? Forgot about it.
Shit. Nah, I can't think of anything.
All right, Bill Cosby getting out of jail.
Hey.
How do we feel about that? What are we thinking?
It's Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
How am I thinking? I mean, I know what the whole reason he got out was because of the legal system fucking up. And to be honest, I mean, I think the judicial system is already fucked up as it is. So that's they bad. You can't grant somebody immunity for something, and then once they give you what you want, but yeah, I'm taking that shit away. That's what they did. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Did he really do all that shit to those females? Probably. I mean, do I know for sure? No, but I think he kind of admitted it a little bit, anyways. So it's like, I mean, he's already kind of tarnished his name in my eyes because I was a pretty big Bill Cosby fan back in the day, and it's just fucked up that a lot of our black celebrities
prominent public figures.
Yeah, they always get something put on them. No matter what. If you look at any of them, Mike Tyson rape, Michael Jackson child molestation, Tupac rape, Eddie Murphy being gay. What else? Puffy gay, plus he's an asshole. So
Dave Chappelle, he crazy.
Yeah, he's already crazy before they tried to get Dave Chappelle, but I think because it just don't like his motherfucker is like he like I don't know, he just slips and slides all that shit, so it don't matter really.
They got Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart did that to us. I mean, to me, I don't like. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of slack for this. What did he do? He had sex to a girl. This nigga is a millionaire. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, he's almost probably in the $1 billion range.
Yeah, so who gives a fuck? It's like, oh, he's married, yeah, but like, she like I put it like this. This is the fucked up way of looking at it, but I feel like I think this is real. He has marriage. I mean, he has money. I mean, he got fame. He got all these different assets that she can use, and all she's giving him is sex. So if she was to cheat, she got a lot to lose. He ain't got that much to lose but sex. He can get that from anybody else. But if she was to leave him, she'll have a hard time getting all those assets back from another person. So she got to stay. I mean, it's fucked up to look at it. Is it right that he did it? No, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, and like he's trying to give money to the chick he was screwing. He was just giving his dick with. So.
And supposedly that's how he met the wife he's with now. Anyways,
yeah,
she was cheating on his actual wife with the lady he's with now.
I think the issue with him was more of the fact that he was trying to present himself in a certain way, and then that that tarnished that tarnished the way he was presenting himself. If he wasn't out there presenting himself that way, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Like in the sense of Shaq, when his wife cheated on him, he left her immediately. He broke up with her, it was gone, and then they try to come out and say, "Oh, he was cheating too." But yeah, this nigga Shaq, he's making a bunch of money now. If I'm dating Oprah and I find out, if I'm married to Oprah and I find out that she's fucking somebody else, and I'm broke as I am right now, it is what it is. I'm gonna be like, man, that's fucked up, Oprah. We gotta talk about this tomorrow after dinner. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. Yeah. Now I'm not going anywhere. No, fuck that nigga.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, it's the whole marriage thing, I guess, that puts these other rules into place to where
don't get married. Don't get into a that's a fucked up contract.
Speaking of this, there's an interview with this girl. I don't know exactly her name, but she was talking about if she is dating a rich guy and he has her living this certain kind of lifestyle, she shouldn't have to downgrade her lifestyle if they break up. She feels like that he should keep paying her bills and keep paying her rent because he got her used to that on some wild shit.
But I mean, when I heard that shit too, and I'm like, how do I put it? I'm not mad at her about this at all because he enabled that. So how can you be mad at somebody who's used to a certain thing, Because people are giving her this, you can't do I feel like it's stupid? It's stupid if it happened to me because it would never happen to me. If I have that much money and I'm screwing some chick, and first of all, I'm not putting her right up in no fucking apartment and paying all that money for it in the first place. But if let's just say by some miraculous fucking intervention or some shit, I did do some shit like that. If I was to break up with her, taking everything back that I have. Like, it's gone. I'm not even taking it back. I'm just not paying for that shit no more.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
But in her case, you can't get mad at her because that dude enabled that. And so the only person who you could even like get remotely mad at is him, but it's his money. He made that money. He can do what he wants to with it.
Right.
So is it stupid? It's dumb if the other females who hear this think that they can run with that and get that too, because what she got is a unicorn. She got somebody who is like 1 in a billion, you know.
One in a billion. Or what he was doing is super illegal, and he has that house as a tax write-off and all that shit that she has.
Could be.
Because there's no fucking way that a guy would be paying her bills and car note after she's dating another guy and all that other shit.
And then to be dating her. If I'm dating a girl and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, this is a nice love. How do you pay for all this? Oh, well, my ex is paying for this. Yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna go ahead and meet you.
Exactly. I don't know what kind of arrangements y'all got, but yeah, that's fucking wild. That's wild as hell. All in all, it goes to say, you know, choose your partner wisely. Make sure if you do get married, you have an agreement to where, you know, if you get caught in a situation where, not literally with your pants down, it might be a bad pun, but you don't mess up your money, you don't mess up your whole living situation, your happiness of living over I don't know, freaking physical attraction. Find somebody that can satisfy your mental as well, that you connect with on a deeper level, because these people are created by trying to win people over with material things. Like, if somebody don't love you and just love the kind of car you can provide for them, or opportunity you can provide for them, these clout chasing people are out there. You know, these looks aren't everything. That's just a little message from Lydell Dinero to the Best of Bias listeners out there.
And women, if you get into a relationship with somebody who makes a lot of money, don't always go off of their money. While you're in that relationship, use them, because they're usually probably pretty knowledgeable individuals, to build yourself up. That way, if that shit don't work out, you got something to fall back on that you done built up while you're in that relationship.
And you guys know that. Majority, 99.9% of you guys are all intelligent beings. We love you women. It's just the 1% that feels like somebody should take care of them, somebody should do everything for them, give them every dime that they earned. And I mean, I know pussy is powerful. It is the most beautiful thing of all time. It is a blessing, but I feel like it shouldn't be used as a weapon to just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't even say that, because I don't know. People, different situations, people are different, but I just feel like, I don't know, money and vagina, I don't know, that's sex work. You don't want to be in a sex work relationship. Just love each other, be mutual partners, grow together.
And make sure that if he is providing all that for you, you are his peace. So when he comes home, he ain't gotta be stressed out. You know, he ain't gotta be sitting there worrying about arguing with you. You guys can just have a nice, peaceful, because you gotta be his peace that separates him from that stressful ass life of work. So
and vice versa. If the woman is,
don't be toxic.
If the woman is working and you at home trying to get your shit together, don't stress her out when she comes home from working a long day. Don't fucking nag about this, asking where dinner is gonna be, what we doing, this and that. You know, do your part, try to get your hustle right, try to get you on the straight and narrow. And like I said, it's a 50-50 thing. That's the best way to make a partnership work, because once that one time it goes from 50-50 to 60-40 to 70-30, that's all it takes for somebody to say, I'm done. And once it's done, it's all the time it don't come back. So cherish love, man. Cherish love. Let's get into this next topic. We're getting a little sappy. I'm sorry, guys. We're getting a little sappy here. Let's talk about a couple of these little Marvel releases that are coming out soon. So I know Black Widow is out now, released this Friday. I'm about to watch it here after this podcast, and I'm sure we're going to review it, because I'm just going to buy it, and then we're going to pass you the link so you can get it watched up and we can review. We're excited for it. I'm excited to watch that. But there is another Marvel show that's coming out. We got the trailer. It's coming in August. What If? Are you excited for What If?
Actually, I am. It looks pretty dope. I didn't get to see the new trailer, but I saw the other trailer they had, and it looks like, I like the concepts of it. I like it a lot. So I'm really looking forward to that. This shit needs to come out a little faster with these fucking shows because
Oh shit, it's about to hit the wire. It's about to hit the wire because a lot of shit like superhero wise, whether it be DC, whether it be Marvel, we're gonna have back to back stuff all the way through January.
Oh, yeah, they're also working on that. I don't know if you saw it, the anime thing for
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Yep.
That shit looks. I don't know if it's gonna be canon, but it definitely looks dope as fuck. So
I think it's called like Visions or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of my homies hit me to it, and yeah, that shit looks dope. I like the
Yeah.
way like it's all like real Japanese animators working on it, and they get to tell their own type of stories, make their own characters and whatnot. So definitely looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So yeah, What If is coming up soon. I think it comes out in August, like I said. It's an animated kind of series that kind of just goes into what if, like, origin stories for a bunch of different characters. It's like, what if this happened to a different person? So basically take Peggy Carter. One of the main ones is, what if Peggy Carter actually became Captain America per se? Of course she's British, so I want to say Agent Britain or something like that. And basically she is Captain America and Steve Rogers is regular Steve Rogers. What if that happened?
Little skinny Steve Rogers.
Right, still skinny ass Steve Rogers. And then what if T'Challa was actually Star-Lord? You know what I'm saying? They had a bunch of different scenarios of what if. They had what if, zombie, Marvel zombie, what is it called? When there's the Marvel are all zombies.
I forgot. I know there was one where what was it? I doubt they're gonna have this one, but I don't know about the one for What If. But I know the comic was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of different ones. I think they got one also where like Wolverine fucked everybody up. It's different ones, but
yeah, they show a bunch of different what ifs. If you watch the trailer, I'm probably gonna post the trailer on the Best of Bias podcast Instagram pretty soon here because I don't think I posted that yet. But I need to go do that now. So it's epic. Go watch that. It's a lot of stuff coming out. I think we have the Internals coming out real soon. We got Black Widow, of course, is out now.
Shang-Chi, I think it was.
Shang-Chi comes out later this year. We still have Suicide Squad coming out. There is what else we got?
I don't know why I'm not looking forward to that one though.
I think it'll be interesting. It's rated R. I just want to see all the different powers and what these people have. I know some of them are gonna die.
Just some of the costumes and some of the characters just look stupid corny, but
yeah.
I mean,
course.
I see that they're trying to go. They're trying to go with
Marvel.
comedy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, everything's like Marvel. Yeah, but I think they're just trying to go with the comedy aspect of it, because they've seen how good it did for Guardians of the Galaxy.
And it's the same guy directing, anyways. But I said that everything. I was trying to say that everything outside of Marvel, I think the costumes look very, very corny. Just like what's that show they have on fucking Netflix right now?
Fuck. The one where everybody has superpowers like Superman.
Yeah, it's those costumes look terrible.
It's not Utopia. What is it called again?
Jupiter War. Or
Jupiter Falls or something like that.
Jupiter Legacy. No, what was it?
Yeah. I think it's Jupiter's Legacy. I think something like that, right?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, their costumes did look corny as fuck, but it was a good show, nonetheless.
It was cool. It's just like costumes don't look really right unless they're like Marvel stuff, because we're kind of more used to that. I'm really used to the DC stuff, but even like in The Boys and stuff like that, those uniforms kind of look corny to me. But I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the same time, The Boys is kind of like, I think they're all like not the same universe, but I think it's the same. Like it's Image Comics, I think it is, or something like that, right? Yeah. And they're getting a lot. I mean, I didn't know Image Comics was at first, but I mean, after Invincible, the motherfuckers got they got my card. They got my vote. So.
Yeah. Yep. And there's one. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of different stories from the people that made the Jupiter Legacy or whatever that are coming out with other shows too. They're not going to do a season 2 of that series. They're just going to do a different comic from that production company.
Wait, they're not going to do a season 2 of that. It kind of ended up on the cliffhanger.
Right. Yeah. So they're not doing a season 2. They jump into a whole different comic.
But didn't it do good though?
No, I don't think it did at all.
Really?
Actually,
I
yeah,
thought it
the
did
reviews
good.
I was hearing from the podcast I listened to called the Jock and Nerd podcast, they said that shit did trash. It was,
Mm,
yeah, but it, supposedly that comic book company has a bunch of different stories, some really good stories in that. So they're probably gonna come out with something that's, either way, everybody's gonna consume all that superhero stuff and eat it up anyway. So it's
yeah.
whatever. Um, but yeah, man. Anything else you want to talk about before you end this episode here? It was a pretty long one.
It was. I can't think of shit else. I'm sure
All
there's
right.
shit that I could think of when I'm done, but if I'm done, it is what
I
it
guess
is.
not. But as of now, hey, this is where you come to get your pop culture news, your TV show review news. We did Loki today. We did pop culture today. It's the Best of Bias podcast, man. You know where you can find me at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram. You can find me on Snapchat, Patrick_Lydell. On the Twitter, you can find me at SAC Lydell too. But if you want to find us on the Best of Bias podcast, of course, you can find us on the website, bestofbiaspodcast.com. You can find us on the YouTube, Best of Bias, Instagram, Best of Bias, Facebook, Best of Bias. Anywhere you find your favorite podcast, you can find the Best of Bias, man. Also, check out the YouTube page. Subscribe, like, tell friends. If you want to be on the show, hit us up in the comments. If you want to be on the show, hit us up on the website. If you want to be on the fucking show, hit us up on the Instagram. Anywhere you can find us at. Anything you want to tell the people, AKA?
Stay black.
Oh yeah, Rodney Dangerfield out right now on YouTube as well. Not Rodney Dangerfield, it's called Rodney Danger. Peacefully
Yeah.
Challenged featuring Lydell, Dinero. Go check that shit out. Flows on flows on flows, fuego on fuego on fuego.
Bars.
EP from Peacefully Challenged coming real soon with an exclusive interview. We told you guys that. But yeah, more content to come. The platforms are fixed now. I know they've been looking a little crazy the last couple of weeks. We had some technical difficulties, but we are back. Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, adding more podcast episodes. This should be up by Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Sunday. Who knows? We're going to try to get this out to you as soon as possible because I know episode 6 and the finale is coming out on Wednesday. But as of now, this has been Lydell. This has been AKA. And this has been the Best of Bias podcast. Where the hell is my theme song? It's right here. All right, you guys, come back, always come back. Love y'all as we out of here.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.